Whew, man, super hot. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the morning routine. It's Monday morning, March 19th, 2018, episode number 306, and I'm so glad to see you guys here this morning. I hope your weekend was fantastic. I'm just sitting here thinking back over my weekend and the things that were done, and man, there's like so much stuff that happened over the last couple of days. It was pretty exciting. So Friday night, this is kind of funny actually. Friday night, I had a great opportunity to get together with my older brother and two of my friends from way back in the day. The four of us have not been together we were trying to figure it out. It's got to be 15 or 16 years that the four of us were together at the same time in one place. And we had a great night just hanging out, went out and we've got some steaks and we're grilling and made some potatoes. And the part here that's interesting is you have four men that are in the late 40s, right? And we're sitting eating steak, enjoying conversation with each other like a bunch of old men talking politics and everything else. What is it that we decide to play on the TV while we're eating and talking? Old Bugs Bunny cartoons. Yes. Out of all the things we could have watched, all the movies that were available, we played old cartoons. That is a group of buddies. When you can sit down and play some old cartoons together and just hang out and have a good time, it was fantastic. So that kicked off the weekend. And then, of course, I had one of our sons had a birthday this weekend, and forget about it. It's like a national holiday when it's his birthday. I love it. Everybody. It's not just him. It's anybody's birthday. It's like the world should stop and everybody should go on siesta. And it makes it just a fun day. So it was a great weekend around here. I hope your weekend was just as fun and just as fulfilling. And I hope that you made lots of memories this weekend. Or maybe you just caught up on some much needed rest that you've been lacking lately or something, I mean, sometimes that's what you need a weekend for, is just to catch up, to breathe, right? To breathe. So, but anyways, glad you guys are here this morning on Facebook Live, and if you're enjoying it on podcasts or on YouTube or just checking out the articles on the morningroutine.live, I appreciate each and every single one of you for being here this morning. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's take off. I've got some articles lined up for us today, of course. And the first, we're going to start with our friend, Mr. Jeff Bezos. Yes. Amazon owner, creator of Mega Clock, all kinds of stuff that this guy does. He was in an article in Inc. magazine, and the title of the article was "This One Simple Question Helps Jeff Bezos Make Tough Life Choices." Interesting, right? That's a headline grabber. One question that helps him make tough life choices. When he comes to making tough life decisions, he is a fan of long-term thinking. That's why he's creating that big clock that we talked about as well, to challenge long-term thinking. The best way to think about it was to project myself forward to the age of 80 and say, look, when I'm 80 years old, I want to minimize the number of regrets that I have. I don't want to be 80 years old in a quiet moment of reflection, thinking back over my life and cataloging major regrets. It was a 100% chance of a regret if I didn't try, he said, and basically a 0% chance of regret if I tried and failed. We all get to choose our life stories, he says in this article. It's our choices that define us, not our gifts. Everyone has gifts. You can never be proud of your gifts because they're gifts. They were given to you. You can only be proud, really, of your choices because those are things where you are active. One of the most important choices that each of us has is you can choose a life of ease and comfort, or you can choose a life of service and adventure. When you're 80, which one of those things do you think you'll be more proud of? Jeff Bezos, tip of the hat to you, my friend. Very well written, very great focus. Guys, is that not so true what he said? I mean, words, he just nailed it. So if you want to read those again, go to themorningroutine.live, click on today, click on this headline, and you'll see the actual article where this came out of. There's actually a video where he was giving this talk at the summit, and it's true, guys. Like, what will your regrets be? If you've got something, if you talk about, I'd like to do this someday, do it. You're not guaranteed tomorrow. You know, I could tell you a story, but I'll save it for another time because, anyways, it's another story. But get them off your list. If you've thought it, do it. Don't have regrets. Simple, easy, you know? Good morning, my brother in Utah. Go back to bed. I love you so much. Oh, my goodness. That's awesome. So on we go to the next story this morning. The next story that we have this morning has to do with Barbie dolls. Yes, out of Fast Company magazine, there's an article on Barbie dolls. Barbie's 17 new skinny dolls are not role models girls need, says Fast Company magazine. I don't know. What do you think about this, guys? To celebrate International Women's Day, Mattel has released 17 new Barbie dolls based on real women. In a study that Barbie conducted, 81% of 8,000 moms who had daughters under the age of 10 said they were worried about the types of role models that their little girls were exposed to. These new dolls are a direct response to this anxiety. There's a Wonder Woman director Patty Jenkins doll from the United States, 2 Michelin star French chef Helen Darroze and Chinese ballerina Wan Tan. Then there are historical icons like artist Frida Kahlo and NASA mathematician Katherine Jenkins and pilot Amelia Earhart, gold medalist Chloe Kim, Australian conservative Bindi Irwin, Chinese volleyball champion Hugh Raki. All these dolls are based off actual people, women, role model women, okay, in response to this thing. Each one is based on a real person. The dolls' faces, eye colors, and hairstyles appear carefully designed to capture the likeness of the real woman each is meant to represent. It seems strange, though, that Mattel made all the dolls rail thin. In fact, the dolls' bodies are almost all identical to each other. A slew of research has found that playing with Barbie dolls makes girls feel lower self-esteem about their bodies. This doesn't reflect the reality of women they are modeled on. So the question here, guys, is if we're looking for dolls to play with for young ladies that boost self-esteem by role models of real women that have achieved great things and have impacted the world in a positive direction, and Barbie makes the dolls based on those people, I mean, a Barbie doll has to fit in Barbie toys. They're shaped a certain way, right? Is that wrong to do that? Or should they have made the dolls whatever height and width that the actual person that they're modeling the doll after? Which is more appropriate? And that I don't know. It's a tough question, really, right? I understand what they're saying in this article. I understand what they're upset about because, I mean, I get it. But what's the alternative, really? It's interesting. I don't know the answer to that, right? So, will this hurt or harm the young girls that are playing? I guess that's where this article is going. Will this hurt or harm the young ladies that play with these dolls and know that they're based on real live women? I don't know the answer to that. So, but anyways, on we go. One last article this morning. This one is very cool. Gonna have to head out and check this thing out in California, out in Pasadena, California. There's a new worker at the Cali Burger in downtown Pasadena, California. His name is Flippy. He can cook up to 300 burgers an hour, and each one is consistently prepared. Flippy is the world's first autonomous kitchen assistant. He won't leave for another job because he doesn't like the work, because he's a robot. Flippy costs $60,000 plus a 20% annual service fee. Zito, the creator, reckons a Flippy-equipped restaurant could save enough money to pay back that price tag within 18 months. Yes, and you can go to this restaurant. They have a big glass wall, and you can watch Flippy make your burgers, and the burgers are exactly the same each and every time in very rapid speed, as you just heard. So, good job, Flippy. Keep on flipping. And there you have it. So that's the stories for today. Let's jump on over and see what's trending. The top 10 most searched things yesterday on Google. Number 1, UNC basketball. Yes, North Carolina basketball is out of March Madness. Number 2, Jan Arnaud was a Cirque du Soleil performer. Number 3, Xavier basketball. Number 4, Rory McIlroy. He's a golfer. Number 5, Purdue basketball. Number 6, Real Madrid soccer. Number 7, Marshall basketball. Number 8, Kansas State basketball. Number 9, Nevada basketball. Number 10, Xavier basketball. As you can see, it's quite obvious that we're in the middle of March Madness. There is no doubt about that. So on we go. Let's go check and see what's trending on on the news front here. Top of the list, British woman killed fighting Turkish forces in Afrin. Then we have Donald Trump, death penalty for drug traffickers, part of Trump opioid plan. Then we have Cambridge Analytica, Republican lawmakers concerned by Facebook data leak. Then we have New York City Fire Department, 911 hero who saved hundreds, dies of cancer at age 45. Then we have Austin, Texas. Austin on edge after explosion leaves 2 injured. Then we have Nevada Wolfpack men's basketball. Cincy blows 22-point lead, stunned by Nevada. Then we have Vladimir Putin. Russia's Putin wins by big margin. There was a re-election on Friday. Then we have Stoneman Douglas High School. Some officials wanted Florida school shooting suspect forcibly committed in 2016. Then we have Facebook. Facebook probes employees' ties to Cambridge Analytica. And the last but not least, Anthony McPartland. McPartland in drunk drive arrest out of BBC. And that is what's trending on the news this morning. So there we go. On we go to, wait a minute here, no comment on the amount of money someone gets for flipping burgers. They said you could pay off the $60,000 plus 18 months. Really? You know what, Kevin, I didn't even read into that. You're right. You could save money by having people cook, but see, you could pay more for people who are flipping burgers, but they would have to produce burgers as fast as Flippy the robot in order to do it. Yes, they're paying Flippy $60,000 to get in, and then a 20% service fee every year. That's $12,000 a year after that. That's a lot of money, but you know what? How many cooks really does it take to make that many burgers and that well, and that they're not showing up hungover? I mean, I get it. Yeah, interesting question. So anyways, on we go, guys. Let's move on this morning to a passage of wisdom. Slow it down just for a hair. Good morning, Russ. Good to see you, my man. I was thinking of you this weekend when I was with some buddies of mine out in Eagle Lake, and I remember I was thinking of you guys from college out there. So I hope you're doing well, my friend. So, Kim, you're right. Consistent product, reliable worker. There's no calling off, right? If only roofers could get the same type of robots doing roofs, they could stay in business a little bit longer, you know? So, anyways, let's move on, guys, to a passage of wisdom. Today's passage of wisdom is one verse. Very simple. One verse, okay? This is, I don't know. There's a lot of different ways to look at this one. I like this one. I think this happens to go hand in hand with the idea of forgiveness per se. Let's just read this. Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. Now, this is awesome. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. What is now being done, the saving of many lives. This is a question and challenge of perspective. This is a story of Joseph. Joseph's brothers were jealous, wanted to kill him, then throw him in a well. Then he got into slavery. Then he got sent off to a foreign land. They told their dad that an animal ate him. And the brothers walked around with this guilt of what they had done to their brother. The brother went off into this foreign land and rose through the ranks because he was always a man of character and became second to the king over the whole land. And through his wisdom, he saw that there was going to be a drought. And so he had built storehouses and stored food and saved millions from dying because of what he did. Now, if his brothers had never tried to get rid of him and throw him in a well and sell him into slavery out of jealousy, millions of people would have died. And that's what Joseph is saying. You intended to harm me, speaking to his brothers, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. This goes hand in hand with our lives, guys. Who is it out there that we have a hard time forgiving? Because it's like they intended to harm you. They intended to harm me. And we're so focused on the anger and bitterness at the person that they tried to do wrong by us that we don't take the time to change our perspective and see what God intended. And where the intention was for good, to accomplish what could be done. Yes, it's a matter of focus and perspective. Let go of the bitterness and anger and frustration and look for the good that can come from it. It can be hard sometimes, I know. I'm not flippantly saying it's so easy. It can be a challenge. But after you do it enough, muscle memory takes you there quicker than it takes you anywhere else. Guys, great passage. Think about it today as you go through your day. What are you so focused on in unforgiveness and bitterness that you're missing what God might have intended out of that? I don't know. Let's pray, guys, and let's get this day started. Father, good morning. Father, thank you for this Monday, a Monday morning of a new week, the gift of waking up this morning, putting our feet on the ground, standing up, and the ability to go and accomplish and to do things. Father, we thank you for the article today by Jeff Bezos, who talks about having no regrets, the things that are on our list, to do it, experience it, get it done. Let's not get to the end of our days and look back and go, oh man, I wish I would have done that. Now is the time. Why wait? There's no reason to wait. Sometimes we fall into complacency because we think we're going to live forever, and we lose sight that our days are numbered. Give us the strength today and the courage to go out and do the things that we know we want to do and that you created for us to do. Father, thank you for the passage today. Help us work on our perspective as well today. That the things that we see that people have done to wrong us or that have gone wrong in our life, that we're so focused on why did those things go wrong and why do we have to, that we're missing on where we can go with it to help other people around us. We love you, God. Amen. And that, my friends, is a magnificent wrap to the morning routine. Thank you for being here this morning so much. I hope you enjoy your fantastic Monday morning and or Monday day, because a lot of people listen in the afternoon to the morning show. Go figure, you know? So, but don't you forget that today, this very, very day, is an excellent opportunity for you to be exactly who it is that you were meant to be. I love you guys. Have a great one.